The People's Democratic Party Convention Screening Committee has submitted its report where it disqualified 3 contestants for taking the party to court at some point. The 3 disqualified aspirants are Mr. Okemo Aro, who was to contest for the office of National Secretary of the party, then Edi Olafesore, who was also Olafesore Eniola, who was to contest for the slot of the National Publicity Secretary, as well as Professor Adewale Oladipo, who is to contest for the Deputy National Chairman South position. 27 contestants have now been declared to participate in the forthcoming National Convention slated for the 31st of October, with one of the aspirants dropping out of the race. The Chairman, Convention Organizing Committee, Governor Amadou Vintiri, stated at the unveiling ceremony of the PDP convention logo at the party's headquarters in Abuja.
The screening committee has just completed and submitted their report to us this afternoon, and they've done a wonderful job. 31 candidates have indicated interest to contest for all the positions across from the national chairman to the last position. 27 of them have been cleared, 1 has withdrawn, and 3 have been disqualified. And so, if they have any reason not to agree with why they have been disqualified, this party is very democratic. They have the opportunity tomorrow to appear before the appeal committee. All these have been disqualified for reason that they took the party to court, and their intention also in the court was to stop the national convention. So if you have taken the party to court without exhausting the internal mechanism of settling whatever grievances you have, and you try to stop the convention, the committee felt you cannot also enjoy from the convention.
All right, that is the chairman of the PDP National Convention Planning Committee. But the man has been treating the books and working on some of the details of the convention joins us now. The governor of Oyo State and then, the secretary of the PDP National Convention Planning Committee, Governor Makinde, joins us on the program tonight. Thank you, Excellency, for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much, Shil.
Appreciate it.
For having me.
Let's look at the direct implications of some of what has been done. 3 people have been disqualified, 1 person dropped out. I thought that the party had pardoned people in the past for similar offenses. Why did you take that stern move this time around?
Well, you know, at some point, you have to draw the line. Yes, if people have been doing things in the past and they've been, getting away with it, there has to be a point where the party will have to say, look, enough of this. You have the internal mechanism of the party, to settle any issues that you may have. And besides, all of this, what exactly are we trying to do? We're trying to send a message to Nigerians. We're going towards the general elections for 2023, and we need to let Nigerians know that this is a party that, will stand for discipline. This is a party that will stand for unity. This is a party that Nigerians should look up to, whenever they're thinking of how to fix the problems that we're in. And we can't do that in an atmosphere of impunity, in an atmosphere where, you want to eat your cake and have it at the same time.
The reason why I asked that question is also because your party is looking at a reconciliation. And I'm very certain that you're on that table discussing the National Convention because you want it to be successful. So what it then will the import of some of this decision is that as though some people have been vilified. For example, I know some of the supporters of some of these people that are disqualified For example, some of them are being backed by former Governor Fayose. It will look as though there is an attack on some of the members of the party.
No, why do you need to single out Governor Fayose?
No, because I know
he wants to be
no,
attacked.
I
By
know
who?
that, but because I interviewed him before,
Yeah.
and you seem not to have agreed on a lot of things.
No, we've put all of that behind us. That was before the PDP zonal Congress. The zonal Congress, we're done with the zonal Congress.
So you're back at friends now?
It has come and gone, yeah.
Governor Fayose is now
I'm
your
going
good
to
friend
be
now.
at Governor Fayose's son's wedding on Saturday. So you see, we have done certain things, and we expect that Nigerians will take adequate notice of those things that we've done. This is the first time in the history of this party and in the history of political parties in Nigeria where we're going into an elective convention, and out of 21 positions to be contested for, I think as of today, 15 or 16, have been settled through consensus. Even the national chairmanship position. So we need to tell Nigerians that first, we are disciplined, and secondly, this is a party that is ready to unify this country. What more can we prove?
Does consensus actually signify unity?
Yeah, it signifies, yes.
Because some politicians see it as imposition, because they believe that stakeholders are not properly brought to the table when you're discussing consensus.
Well, we did. Stakeholders, okay. My question to you is, did we stop people from, going ahead to obtain nomination forms? No, we did not. But if all the various stakeholders across the geopolitical zones in this country, if they are coming together and saying that, look, one of the basic problems, that we have to face, that we have to fix from 2023 moving forward is the issue of unity in this country. We have never been this divided, since I became an adult and I started following things in this country. So it is a big thing that we have to fix. And if we as a party, if we're demonstrating that, yes, we can come together, we can settle our issues without, going to the field to slug it out. And again, we're passing a message. I mean, look at the ruling party. In my state, in Oyo State, they've not even been able to do their Congress, the state Congress. Across the country, out of 36 states, they have close to, I think, 57 chairmen that emerged.
There was a parallel Congress in the PDP, the Congress I held over the weekend, the last weekend in your state.
Well, I can tell you, Sheon, that that is the figment of the imagination of people.
But we covered it. We saw some of those who were not happy. They held it at a different venue as opposed to where you were, sir.
Well, there is a process. The party at the national level, they appointed a committee to come and conduct the Congress. They chose a venue. If you're a good party person, you should go to that venue. Yes, we may have a disagreement, we may have issues to trash out, because that is what politics is all about. But if you then decide that you're going to somewhere else, maybe at the corner of your room, why should we recognize that?
So, I mean...
So you were properly notified that PDP will hold its Congress in Oyo State at a particular venue, and then the committee led by the governor of Enugu State, he was in there and he went to the venue. Why will you go and cover?
No, because what happens when you see parallel conduct? It shows disunity. It shows disharmony. It shows that things are not right.
Well, it shows. In Yoruba, they will always say that, if you see a house that is stable, then maybe the bastard in that house is yet to rear its head. So it means that, you know, there are some, why not calling people bastards, you know, literally. What it means is some people who, through, you know, maybe reasons that are best known to them, they've taken a decision not to follow the rules and the process, you know, laid out by the party.
Okay. For the National Convention, are you thinking or have you thought about the possibility of any surprises that might spring up? Plans to scuttle the convention?
Well, the people that were disqualified, as you just mentioned their name, they were disqualified for that same reason. They went to court. They tried to get an injunction, you know, against the party, stopping the party from conducting the National Convention. They were going to get an ex parte order. And the judge refused and said, no, you need to put the party on notice so that they can come and properly defend themselves. And once that came out, then they then decided that, well, okay, let's forget about this. Now we're going to participate in the process. And now you want to benefit from that same process that you tried to stop. So that is similar to you wanting to eat your cake and at the same time have it.
Is a party worried about the possibility of Prince Uche Secondus trying to pursue the case in court ahead of the convention? Because there's a possibility that it comes up before the 31st. Well,
this is a democratic party. We believe in the judiciary, and by all means, he can, you know, go ahead with his case. But we have mechanism internally, you know, for the party to resolve issues within ourselves. So, I still believe that that mechanism is still...
is it being spoken to? Is there kind of dialogue with Prince Uche Secondus?
Yes, we do have, we have about 15 subcommittees under the National Convention Organizing Committee, and one of those committees is contact and mobilization, whereby, you know, selected elders of the party have been saddled with the responsibility of, you know, reaching out one-on-one to major stakeholders in the party. And I believe Prince Uche Secondus is a major stakeholder in the party, and they will reach out to him.
Are you and your colleagues pressurizing him? I mean, the governor's pressurizing him to drop the case in court. Because these are some of the issues that have been reported. You are putting pressure on him to withdraw the case from court.
No, we can't put pressure on him. I mean, I laugh when people say, oh, this governor or that governor, you know, is being influenced by these other people. I mean, these are adults. These are leaders in their own right. When you are leading a state, it doesn't happen just, you know, like that. No, you must have gone through a process. You must have been scrutinized by people, by your state, by people of your state, before you're deemed to be fit to occupy the state of the position of a state governor.
Have you personally spoken with Prince Uche Secondus?
Well, I've not on this recent...
Okay, but I mean on this matter, on reconciliation, because the allegations for some members of your party is that he wasn't fairly treated.
Well, this is somebody that at the inception of a party of this Fourth Republic, he was the chairman of the party in Rivers State. Then he moved from Rivers State to come to the national. He was national organizing secretary of the party. He was deputy national chairman. He was the acting chairman, and he was the national chairman. I mean, I would think he has benefited so much from the party, and the least we expect is for him to really give back to the party and be a stabilizer for the party.
If you were treated in the same manner, if you were in his shoes, what would you do?
I will listen to a voice of a reason. Because...
You think he didn't listen?
Well, I think we got into a situation where, you know, the atmosphere became polluted. And once you have a polluted atmosphere, then people are not able to really see things clearly, you know. But having said this, Why are we, you know, coming before the people of Nigeria to say, give PDP, you know, a chance to lead this nation again? The reason we're doing that is because we are clearing the organ stable within the PDP. We're trying to have a party that is nimble, that the party that is listening to the voice
So
of the people of Nigeria.
I'm going to ask Your Excellency, if there is, because Governor Wike is your colleague, is your friend, if there is a moment where himself and Prince Uche Secondus, because it's been reported that they fell out, if there is a moment where they start on the same table to resolve some of these differences.
Well, Governor Wike and Prince Secondus, they are, you know, from Rivers State, and they are illustrious sons of that state. If they have any issue that is local, then they should resolve it locally. They have elders, they have leaders in Rivers State. So I don't understand why, you know, people will take, you know, local issue and then make it a national issue.
Well, it became a national issue. It
Well,
affected your party.
it's because, you know, certain people that are benefiting from those confusion, they really want to stay out there and keep benefiting from that confusion. And I make bold to say that given the situation in this country today, the only way that you can stop PDP from attaining power at the federal level is by dividing PDP internally. Once we have that cohesion, and all the governors of the PDP, we are well aware of this fact, and we made unity within ourselves, you know, our #1 priority. Because once the governors of PDP are able to, you know, move in one direction, we are aligned on most of the issues, the challenges that we're faced with, I think there's hope for this country.
I mean, that is if some of you have not left, because it's been rumored that you are planning to go to the APC. Is that true?
Well, maybe in the imagination, it's the figment of imagination of the people are saying that.
But is it something that you're considering?
What's chasing me from the PDP? And APC is a party that since its inception, they have not been able to put together an ordinary board of trustees. So, I mean, if in Yoruba they will say that if I want to give you a dress to wear, you first of all must look at what kind of dress am I wearing. If I'm wearing rag and then I tell you, oh, Sheil, I'm going to give you a designer dress to wear, then you should be wearing. You should ask me, where am I going to get it from?
You think some of your colleagues who left the PDP to APC made a mistake?
I believe some of them made a very serious mistake. Again, politics and democracy and political party administration, they are all linked to choices. If your choice is you want to go to where, I don't want to use the word of my friend Governor Wike, if you want to live where they're treating malaria, you know, to where they want to go and treat cancer, you know, yeah, it's a choice. You allow the people to
so
to
you
go.
will never go to the APC, that's what you're saying?
There's no point at all. And I will say it. You know, a few of my colleagues said it, like Governor of Zamfara, he said, well, I read it. He didn't say it to me, but I read it. That he said, oh, if I go to APC, God should punish him, you know. I think with the dynamics, with what we can see today, the hope of this nation is a unified PDP to provide leadership for this country.
I'm going to ask you two direct and personal questions. The first being that, do you have a vice presidential ambition?
No.
And you don't want to be president too?
No.
Do you think...
Okay, let me explain something, Shem. Let me explain something. You know, people, they easily forget how we got to where we are right now. for this republic, there has been President Obasanjo, President Yaradua, President Goodluck Jonathan, and now President Buhari. All of them, if you look at them, they were called. Some people, some stakeholders got together and they said, look, at this particular time, this is who we really want to use. In 2011, President Buhari, I mean, he cried on national TV and said, look, I'm done with this. I'm never going to contest again. But by 2015, some stakeholders got together and they went to him. And he became the president. President Obasanjo, you know, he was just still coming out of his experience from his incarceration. He wasn't even there when PDP was being formed, when they were meeting the idea, but he was released and stakeholders.
Governor, I'd like you to pause for a moment. Tell us whether or not you will take up the task, should it come to you, to be a vice president, chair candidate of your party, or even a presidential candidate. Why not?
Well, thank you. Even when I went to some people and I said, look, I'd like to be the governor, you know, of Oyo State, they asked me, you know, immediately I mentioned, you know, I'd like to be the governor. They said, which Rotary district, you know, are you talking about? You know, so
they underrated you.
The issue right now is that our party, PDP, we have eminently qualified personalities that can lead this country and lead this country successfully. Some have indicated interest, like former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, like Governor Tambua, like Governor Bala Mohammed. They've indicated interest. And also others have been, you know, asked if do the same question. But the bottom line is, we haven't gotten to that bridge. When we get to that bridge, we definitely will cross it. What is important at this stage, and which I will solicit the support of PDP party members and also the generality of Nigerians, is please support us to have a successful national convention. There's no way you can become anything, president, vice president, even governors, if we don't have a party. So what we want to do first is ensure that we get things right.
But if it comes to you, it's something you will take, would you?
The stakeholders will have to decide.
No, but I mean, I'm asking because you're sitting governor first term, and you will be seeking re-election in 2023.
Why are you sure I'll be seeking re-election in 2023?
Oh, don't you want to?
Well, see, Oyo State people will decide. Now I have a mandate. We're just 2.5 years into that mandate. And what I want to do is, if people of Oyo State, by the end of our 3rd year, if they think we've performed very well and they want us back, we will consider it.
Do you think you have done enough for them?
It's still work in progress. I think so far, so good.
You're on track?
Very much on track.
Your promises, I mean, because that's not the focus tonight, so I don't want to go into it.
Yeah, well, I can
You can tell the people of Oyo State that you have done enough based on the promises you made to them.
Yes, I have. We have done enough. The team, you know, myself and the team, we've done very much for the people of Oyo State. But it is not time for us to bring forward our report card.
You're saying there about the half mark.
Exactly. So this is like you're just coming back from a second.
You're an engineer, so you probably are just, are you at the lintel level?
At this stage?
In your construction in the first year, first term.
Well, in engineering, there's really what we call the law of thermodynamics.
Okay.
Yeah? And it's very simple. You can still just interpret it literally. First, it says you cannot win. If you cannot win, you can get a draw. So you can play within that envelope and say, well, if I'm not winning, I can get a draw. If you push the envelope, you get to a point where you will always lose. And then, if you're not satisfied and you want to push the envelope, you get to a zone where you may even break into pieces.
So, at some point, because
kaput.
the way you're talking now, Governor Makinde, it does look to me that you might want to go national other than staying as a governor.
Well, you're the one putting these words out here.
Well, it's a pleasure talking to you. We will be looking out for the National Convention and see how all that plays out. And hopefully you'll be able to unite your party. But fundamentally, do you think you can beat APC in 2023 in the national election?
Well, it's a question that I know Nigerians will answer, and they will answer decisively. It happened to me in Oyo State. When I contested to be the governor, PDP were not at the local level, we were not at the state level, we were not at the federal level, and we didn't have the police, we didn't have the security agencies, but we had the people of Oyo State. They stood with us, and in the history of the state, you know, we defeated my opponent with over 154,000 votes. So, for us, we know the things that we're supposed to do. Unify our base, get all the stakeholders together. Yeah, there will be people that will be aggrieved and all of those. We'll still appeal to them, bring them back, let them have a stake in what we're doing, and Nigerians will settle the score.
Governor Seyi Makinde, Governor of Oyo State and the Secretary of the PDP National Convention Committee, has been speaking with us. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.